Hey everybody, Juffa here with another video, this time bringing you guys the inaugural episode of my new show that's going to be going on my channel, and what I'm hoping to be a weekly show, or maybe bi-weekly depending on time permitting, and that is Character Witness, a show where I take a different character each week and pretty much discuss the character and give my general opinion on them. And so for this first episode, this is actually a big shout out to RF Biker Scout. Dan actually kind of gave me the idea for this show on a comment on one of my recent videos. It was a haul video where he said that he'd like to see me review a Superman figure that I showed off in the haul that I got, and actually, honestly, I wanted to get more of what I thought of the character of Superman. So, for my inaugural episode, I thought, what better character to do than the Man of Steel himself, Superman. So, Superman. He's a character that it seems like nowadays half the comics community, half of comic book fans love him, and half think that he's stupid. And I have to say that I quite like Superman. In fact, I really do love his character. I know that's very surprising, considering that on my channel I mainly show how much of a big Batman fan I am. Obviously, I've got Joker in the name of my in my username, but I do rather enjoy Superman, and I'm gonna tell you why. Batman versus Superman is Batman. He's a cool character, and I love him, and I'll say that I love Batman more than I do Superman. Batman was just there for more of my childhood. He was there. I think the main thing of why I love Batman more than Superman is because Batman was introduced to me first, and I only got into Superman later. He's an awesome character. His villains are awesome. His movies are awesome. Pretty much everything that Batman's touched is amazing, right? Even into video games, and the Arkham games are amazing. Superman, on the other hand, he hasn't had quite as much luck in all the departments. For movies, I love the Christopher Reeve movies. They're classics. Ask anybody. You can't not like the Christopher Reeve Superman movies. There's just some undeniable charm about them. It was a great portrayal of the character for the time. It's very much a Silver Age Superman, not a modern Superman, though. And that's something that I think Superman has an issue with when trying to connect with new fans, a new audience, is getting away from the classic campy Silver Age image that was so popularized by the Christopher Reeve movies, and even in Superman Returns only 7 years ago now. So that is Superman's biggest problem nowadays, is getting away from that image of being a campy all good character, when really in the comics nowadays, if you look at him, he's still at his heart a good guy, and that's something that I love about him, is that he does good for the sake of doing good. He will take any chance he can to help his fellow man, but he is still serious, and you take him seriously. But a lot of people still think that, like, oh, he's just a stupid campy character from the 50s. And that's not true. So that's, I think, is Superman's biggest issue right now, connecting with new readers, is getting rid of that image. And I'm really hoping that Man of Steel is able to show to the world once and for all that Superman can be taken more seriously than what we saw in the Christopher Reeve movies. And don't get me wrong, like I said, I love the Christopher Reeve movies. They're amazing. Well, the first two are amazing. After that, it gets a bit questionable. But the first two are fantastic. There's so many memorable features features of those movies that stick with Superman to this day. I mean, who doesn't remember the kneel before Zod? That Terrence Stamp as Zod was at the same time both hilarious and menacing. So great movies, no doubt, but they have kind of, I think, set Superman back in terms of connecting with new audiences. Now, that is, like I said, Christopher Reeve movies were great, but they weren't how I got into Superman. How I got into Superman was, plain simple, Superman the Animated Series. I grew up in the 90s and early 2000s, and the DC animated universe was in full swing. Bruce Timm had just come off of doing Batman the Animated Series, another fantastic show. I already did. If you didn't know, on my channel I have 2 40-minute videos talking about how much I love Batman the Animated Series. So yeah, you can check those out, but I'm not going to go off on that tangent today. Bruce Timm and the company at Warner Brothers just came off doing the fantastic Batman the Animated Series. They're getting into the new adventures of Batman, Batman Beyond, and finally Superman the Animated Series, in kind of what I like to consider Phase 2 of the DC animated universe. And this was my first introduction into the character of Superman. And at the time, I didn't know much about him. I just, I believe before then I had seen maybe like the first Christopher Reeve Superman movie. Didn't know a whole lot about the character, and I was pretty much, a Batman nut. So you can imagine what situation I was going into these movies. And then when I watched the show, I really got hooked on the character. In the show, I think that Bruce Timm and the folks at Warner Brothers got so right is that they made Clark a very relatable character. He was somebody that he was, obviously an alien from another planet, but he wasn't such a god as I know, don't want to use that word, but as he is in the comics, where nothing can stop him except for a little bit of kryptonite. In the show, which is a bit controversial, is that they kind of weakened Superman's physical abilities, at least, and that's kind of a point of debate amongst fans of the character as to whether that was a good thing or a bad thing. Personally, I'm on the side of it was a good thing. And I know not everybody's going to agree with me, but I'm just going to go with that I thought it was a good thing that they kind of toned down Superman for the show, because I was watching a special feature making of little documentary short, probably like 10-minute video on Superman the Animated Series, and they were talking to one of the people that helped make the show. I forget his name, and I apologize for that, but he was talking about how, and this is his words, his opinion, not necessarily mine, that if they had just kept Superman being this like godlike character, was able to literally move planets, that's how strong he was, then the show would get real boring real fast. Everything would be over in 2 minutes, because if you have a supervillain on the loose, Superman, just go catch him like that, show over. And so they made him weaker to benefit the story, to make him more interesting, to make him more relatable. And I quite like that. He's still, incredibly powerful, don't get me wrong. They didn't make him like, one shot with a bullet, hurt him or anything. But, they made it to where it wasn't completely improbable that he could be killed in a situation, if he were hit with, enough force. For instance, like if he got in like a fight with Darkseid, and Darkseid was getting the upper hand, and Darkseid could kill him potentially. That's what we're talking about when we're saying that Bruce Timm toned Superman down for the show. But personally, I like it. I thought it made him more relatable as a character. He still wasn't just an ordinary person that bullets and knives could hurt him, but he was a lot more relatable, and they played up the aspect of kind of him. In certain times, they played him up, as not necessarily fitting in, trying to figure things out in his life, because it seems like another kind of pointing out differences between him and Batman. This thing always comes back to Batman, doesn't it? But whereas Batman, when you watch him in cartoons and movies and stuff, where Batman always knows what to do next, where he always knows what he's going to do. Superman, he's much more normal in his thinking. Again, not trying to insult any fanboys here, but he thinks as he goes along, as like a normal human being would. He doesn't sit around in the Batcave planning things out 10 steps ahead. So in that aspect, he is a much more relatable superhero than Batman is. In that aspect, not overall. Again, don't want to anger anybody, but in that aspect, Superman is a bit more relatable because he doesn't plot as much as Batman does. And another thing that I really admire about Superman is that in my opinion, he is the most inspirational superhero that has ever been written. And why do I say that? People are going to point out the argument that, Batman, he saw his parents get murdered when he was 8, and he went on to fight crime and stuff. And that is very inspirational, too, of how he overcame his loss to turn his grief into something more productive, to fight crime in the streets of Gotham. But Superman, there's something about him, and it's hard to describe just how inspirational he is and why it works so well. I think again, his backstory is very relatable too, where someone might point out the argument he's a superhuman alien from another planet. Well, think about it. He was sent off from his home planet of Krypton when he was just an infant, barely escaping the destruction of his home planet and his entire race. Batman lost his parents. Superman lost his entire race. Yeah. So that is quite the disadvantage. And it's the feeling of ultimate loneliness. Imagine if you were the last human being and you were sent off on a spaceship to live with some alien race. Granted, they do look similar to you, because Kryptonians do look a lot like humans, but very different in their culture and their society, their technology. It must be a feeling of extreme loneliness, I imagine. So it's something about Superman's story of pretty much just being sent away from his home while it was destroyed, and then being orphaned on Earth, and then he was taken in by the Kents, obviously. Kansas farmers and small town America, Smallville. So yeah, they weren't exactly super creative with the name of Smallville, were they? But and seeing how he was raised by the Kents, and going back to the original comics in the Golden Age. Obviously, America at that time was very religious and stuff. So they instilled moral, religious beliefs in Kal-El, aka Clark Kent, whatever you want to call him. I'm just going to switch terms in between this, or just call him Superman. So they installed high morals in him from an early age, and pretty much just taught him how to be a good person and to use his powers to benefit everybody. And seeing how Superman adapts to his new home and is trying to fit in. Something about that is just very inspiring. And obviously, from their different backgrounds, Superman and Batman are both have completely opposite personalities. Batman, kind of the dark, brooding type, but Superman's a very optimistic, lighthearted. I don't want to say lighthearted, make you think like he's skipping down Metropolis or something, but he's very much more happy person, I guess you could say. He's very much more open, very much more warm, and very much more open to the public, especially where he's an idol in Metropolis, whereas in Gotham, Batman is a vigilante. He's kind of he's an urban myth practically. So something about that, and he arouses more. Superman arouses more. How do I say this? It is more of he inspires others to do good, whereas Batman terrifies others into doing good because you don't want to get caught by Batman and beaten senseless. Whereas Superman, he inspires you to do good. You learn by his example to be a good person. And going back to, by the way, the fantastic third trailer for Man of Steel, before seeing the third Man of Steel trailer, honestly, I was kind of iffy about the movie, but after seeing it, I'm extremely excited to see the movie when it comes out, and I believe mid-June. And going back to something that Jor-El said in that trailer, he said when he's talking to his wife about sending Kal-El off to Earth to live with the humans, where he said he will... I forget the exact words, but he said he will practically be a god to them, and he said that in time he will lead the humans to greatness. They may trip, they may stumble behind him, but eventually they will join him in the light. And I thought that was a fantastic line that summarized pretty much everything that Superman is about. He is about being an inspiring hero and showing others. He brings out the best in people, to be honest. Especially like you see in looking at a situation like the Justice League, where all these people who have no right to be in the same room together, and he inspires everybody to greatness. And I think like in the Justice League, kind of bringing that up, since the Justice League obviously is a big part of Superman nowadays in the comics, is that I'm not sure if the Justice League would really work without Superman. I'm honestly not sure, because just thinking about who would be the leader without Superman, you can't really have Batman because he's a bit dark and depressing to be leader. Not good for morale. Wonder Woman's a bit too militaristic. The Flash, obviously, he's the Flash. Can't have him as a leader. The Martian Manhunter is a bit detached from the world, and Green Lantern is, I could see Green Lantern possibly being a candidate for leadership, but Superman just seems like the perfect leader for that group. He like I said, he brings out the best in people. So I think that the Justice League only really works if you do have Superman there to kind of bring everybody back, to kind of be the heart of the team, I guess you could say. So that's pretty much my opinion on Superman. I love his character. I think he's a great character. I don't like him or love him quite as much as I do Batman, because Batman, again, I'm not saying that in this video that I prefer Superman over Batman. Quite the opposite. I like Batman more because he was there kind of first in my childhood. I was raised a lot watching Batman the Animated Series, and I think the Batman, his character at times, Superman can be a bit two-dimensional, unfortunately, but that's pretty much over with now of Superman being a two-dimensional character. He's become a lot more interesting recently in comics and other mediums, but overall, I just prefer Batman. I think that the city, Gotham, is better. I'm not trying to compare Superman and Batman. I don't know what the heck I'm doing. But I love them both. I love both the characters. So, yeah, I'm not trying to say that that one character is better to the other. I just prefer Batman usually. But I'm getting completely off topic. So anyway, I hope this video has kind of summarized what I think of the character, and I want to stress the point that this series of this new show on my channel, Character Witness, that this is completely opinion-based video. I'm just giving my thoughts on the character. I welcome you to leave your thoughts on the character of Superman in the comment section below, or even make your own video if you want to, of what you think of the character. Do you love him? Do you hate him? But this is just an opinion show. I'm not trying to bring out facts from the comics of why Superman is the best. I'm just giving my opinion on the character. I think he's a great character, fantastic character, who has a great backstory, who is very interesting and very inspiring, and again, he inspires everybody to greatness. And I think that he is truly a role model that can be looked up to, for not just for kids, but for anybody. Just, kind of when you're in a situation, what would Superman do? So, a great character, very inspirational, and a true hero in every sense of the word when you think about it. So, thank you guys for watching this inaugural episode of Character Witness. I hope you enjoyed it. Please tell me how I did, what you guys think of the show, again, in the comment section below. And, yeah, I'll be back next week with another character. Not quite sure who I'm going to do next. Maybe it'll be another comic character. Maybe it'll be from a movie. Maybe it'll be from a book. Anything. Any fictional character is a potential topic for this show. So I'm leaving it very wide open. It's not going to be just specifically comics or anything. I just wanted to start the show with Superman, since he is this, a very popular character and a very controversial character when it comes to people liking him or not, and because Dan was interested in knowing what I thought of Superman. So I hope this has answered your question, Dan. So thank you guys for watching this. As always, your thoughts, comments, and feedback are very much welcome. And this is Juke Vet, signing out. Bye.